Hey guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution Tarot, and I'm here today to bring you a monthly message for the sign of Sagittarius for January 2023. We're at the end of this month, so it's not necessarily about January. It's just whatever messages Spirit would like to bring through. So keep in mind, that this is general. Take what you feel resonates for you, disregard the rest, go about your day, and know that no matter what messages come through, it's still up to you, my friends. Your active free will, the choices you make and the steps you take in this world to get whatever fulfillment it is you'd like to see. To me, this is personal freedom, it's personal power, and it lies at the tips of your fingers and the soles of your feet. So use that power wisely. For all my subscribers, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being here. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. If you feel like it resonates and you'd like to see more, please hit subscribe. Join the journey with me. I'd love to have you along this ride. As well as, guys, like the video because it'll help my channel, but it also helps you see more of this channel. Okay? So, I'm just going to take a moment to call in Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, my team of light, and any of your spirit guides that would be here for the highest good of the entire collective. I ask them to join us. I ask them to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you who would ask for it, as well as to use me as the clearest channel possible, delivering messages that are for the most far-reaching of us, but for the highest good only. No second shelf, no top, only top shelf messages here today. So I have with me first the Messages of Life Oracle by Mario Dugue. And let's see what messages we have for Sagittarius, please. Spirit, what messages would you like Sagittarius to be aware of, or what would be the most helpful for them to remember this month or the month going forward? What is some spiritual advice for Sagittarius? Thank you. So we have one that's flown out, and it says unconditional love. And if you see this here, I think this is really important with the healing circle, that this angel is dropping down healing energy and healing vibes. But also what I heard with this is there's power in our intentions and the power of prayer. Whether this is done in prayer group, for some of you this is Reiki circle as well, okay, or like energy healing. And to know that whatever is being done in these circles, they're going to have profound changes, and they are. Also what I heard is energy disruptors. So, I mean, lots of times, if any of you guys have went to church or anything, there's a lot of times where they'll send around something where, you can put someone's name or someone that you want to have prayers for put in here, and then everybody does kind of like a group prayer. This can also be like for the world, but for some of you I heard within your covens as well, if you are an energy practitioner, or if you consider yourself to be, pagan or like more witchy, and that there is definitely energy created here, and we want to make sure that it is of the light. So that's also something I think, before I get into this, I do want to just touch on, is that while our energy, if we have the power to create positive change and positive energy with our thoughts or intentions and the words that we have, imagine that we also have that for the negative aspects. So we want to be really, really clear in our intentions, that we're not sending out any mal energy, or if we are angry or anything like that, that we keep those vibes to us. We deal with and try to figure out whatever triggered us, kind of come to a place of calm before we send out any energy, before we do any practices, or before we start saying things I heard that we may not necessarily agree with all the time, and that we wish we could take back. Okay, so the message it says here is, I see light in everyone. I see beyond the personality and feel compassion for all my brothers and sisters of the light. I do not judge anyone, but accept others as they are. I feel unconditional love for everyone without expecting anything in return. I discover what is divine in each being, and I join my soul with theirs so that we can grow together in universal love. And this is really important. Again, I think it's important for you to remember that we're seeing the divine in everyone, and the divine is watching over us. As well as, there's something else I want to say about this, is that we're coming on to Imbolc, right? It's February 2nd. I'm doing this on January 31st, but February 2nd, Groundhog Day, is also the returning of the light. We are halfway done winter, and we've made it through some of the darkest times of the year if you live in the Northern Hemisphere. And now really is time to, what I heard is, spread our wings, to fly, to let that light back in, and to know that for some of us, I heard we're going through grievances, or we've gone through some grief, and this could also be kind of symbolic of that dark time. But this is where it's really important that no matter the dark that's happened, we let the light, we let the love back into our hearts, back into our lives. And what I heard is we cease to exist in a negative way. So for some of you as well, this idea of unconditional love for others may be something that you've practiced a long time, but it's the unconditional love for ourselves, making sure that we give ourselves grace, that we give ourselves understanding, and we allow ourselves to have peace, that we create times and situations where we're experiencing calm in our world. So I would like one more card, and they flipped it over in here, and it's self-love, which is a beautiful card to come along here with unconditional love, because we're going to take care of ourselves, and this may be that we're just learning what it means to actually love ourselves. I think that a lot of times too, certain people have had the view, maybe especially narcissists, okay, because they'd like to put this out to everyone else, but if you're taking care of yourself and you love yourself, well, don't you just love yourself? Well, you should. You absolutely should, because if you do not love yourself, you are setting a stage for, first off, allowing people into your worlds that don't treat you well, because we're not giving ourselves unconditional love, grace, and we don't feel worthy of love, or we just aren't loving ourselves. And I think that there's a point, and not to say that no one's going to love you, because people are going to love you, but what I feel like in this is if we can't give ourselves that love, how are we going to feel loved? For some of you as well, what I heard is trauma bonds. This is, in this self-love, this is where we're going to give ourselves unconditional love, but to love ourselves, we need to see our patterns and go, shit, it's time to change that, because this isn't helping me. This is actually creating situations of harm. So I want to just give you this, and it says, I love myself and accept myself, or accept who I am as I am. It is not my ego that I love, rather it is what is divine in me, the purity of my being. I take the time to care for myself and to enjoy life. In doing so, I stop searching for the external things that create only an illusion of filling my emptiness. And this is true of so many things. I think that it's important too, for some of you, they're giving me like a weight loss journey as an example, that we want to love ourselves throughout every stage. So let's say we have 100 pounds to lose. That's a big number, right? It may seem daunting at first. Are we going to love ourselves minus 100 pounds any less or any more than we do now? Hopefully not. This is where it's reminding yourself that you are perfect as you are right now. You are in divine perfection, and there is light within you, there is light around you, and you are absolutely worthy of that light. So for some of you, what I feel like is put downs and other people around us may not have always been nice. There may be a place where we really internalize this put down as well. And I mean, if you resonate with the weight thing, that's one really simple place where, I feel like a lot of people have been bullied. It is a really low blow as well when people look at your weight and have something to say about it. But it's also because it's not just are these people saying it, but then we have media and we have society portraying certain images. And certainly it is getting better. However, there's still, I want to say, the skinny normal, right? That a lot of us have felt like, especially if you go to a change room, you try clothes on, and you get in and they're not your size, they just don't carry it, or it doesn't really flatter you, and then you feel like crap because you're in this dressing room and it's not a positive experience. I want to say for that, change stores. Okay, if you're in a store and they don't have your size, change stores. I think it's also important to remember, as we grow, as we transform, and as we age, our body's going to change. So I heard, like, for some of us, we're not the size, maybe we were size 0 at 16, we're not that size anymore. Your body's matured. It's not meant to go back to that. For some of you, maybe it will, but regardless of whether you're a size 25 or a size 0, your worth is not changed. You are always worthy. Okay, so again, they're saying in this, I love myself. It's not my ego. It's that ego can be easily bruised as well. Okay, so for example, like when we're going to try something on, if somebody says something to us and we're not in a super self-lovey place, because if we're giving our self-love and unconditional love, if someone says, hey, you could stand to stop eating those cheeseburgers or you could lose some pounds, we can say, well, I see your point of view there, but I love myself as I am. And to not really internalize that, there's a lot of different things I could go on about, but that's what I'm being given. So I'm going to check the bottom of the deck before I get into the tarot, and it's about growing. And this is beautiful because we're going to bloom into this rose, and what happens with these roses? They spread, they grow, and they fill our life with fragrance. Each day I nourish myself with the light in order to grow in divinity. Through the messages that life brings me, I study my inner being to improve myself in the eyes of God. I am here to learn and grow, not materially, but at a soul level. I find balance between material and spiritual worlds, and I free myself of inner conflicts. I think as well as what I want to say with this is I heard it says, I nourish myself with the light, but I also think this is I nourish myself with healthy food. So what do we need to do to treat ourselves with unconditional love and to treat ourselves with self-love? A couple things, especially when it comes down to food. Give yourself healthy food. Nourish your body. But once in a while, and you give yourself a treat. Don't beat yourself up about it. I think there's something here about sustainability as well. And sustainability doesn't come from depriving ourselves. It comes from, for the eating, I'm hearing like the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, eat stuff that's good for you. 20%, take that treat. And they're dropping stuff down to the ground here already. So it fell in two piles. We have the first one and the second one. So the last one was the 10 of bows with responsibility, and it is in the reverse. I definitely do feel like for some of you, you're coming out of a hard time, right? Like I said, like we're coming into the light now. We're stepping out of the darkness. The other cards here is the 6 of bows with abundance. And you have the 3 of bows in the reverse with fulfillment. So let's get a little bit more. I want to shoot this one at me. Clarity, you have the 8 of vessels with rebirth. And that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful because we're growing, right? So as we're growing, I'm thinking about a rose bush where a lot of times in order for this rose bush to spread and to be more beautiful, we prune it. There may be some things in our world we have to prune. For some of us, this is our hair. A quick haircut, but this is also looking at our world and going, where is there excess? Where is there stuff that's no longer full of life? Where is there something that's sitting stagnant? Where is this that I can prune it so that it will grow back in the spring even better? I think it's important to remember that you have abundance in your world. You are provided for, and there is more than enough if you're willing to see that. For some of you with this fulfillment, I do feel like you've waited a really long time, and it might have felt like because of all the darkness, all the responsibilities, everything that's been heavy and weighing on you, you feel like you're going to just wait forever. And Spirit's asking us, one thing we may need to do, if we still haven't seen it, is to let go again of what needs to be pruned. What is weighing heavy on us? Are they thoughts? Are they emotions? What are they attached to? Are they attached to a person, a memory? How is this still affecting us in our day-to-day? And how can we use our empowered vulnerability, our self-love, to create a positive change? Because before I read these cards, I do just want to say again, like if we were, let's use this rose bush as an example. If we were to see spots of like black rot or disease on it, we would prune that because we don't want that to spread to the rest. If we're seeing parts of ourselves or things that are happening in our world or things that we're doing, okay, I'll go back to nutrition and I'll use myself as an example. Wheat really rips my belly apart. And for a long time, I do really well and I don't eat it, and then I eat it. If it doesn't hurt me right away, I'll piggyback on this. I'll keep eating it until it really hurts. And then I go, oh, why did I do this? And now I have to detoxify my body. And I think that that's one of these things here is like, is there a spot where there's some self-sabotage? Because we all do it at times. And this is where we give ourselves that unconditional love. Am I going to not love myself because I chose a bad habit? Nope. Am I going to have to look at some consequences of what's happening to my body? Yep. And I think that that's going to happen along your way too, is whatever you're seeing, the spots that need to be pruned, if we allow them to grow and keep out of control, we're going to end up, what I heard is there's going to be detriment. For some of you, not all of you, but this is friendships, this is the people around you that you may look at and go, you know what, I need to do some pruning. In the past, what I heard, the fences or the walls, they've done really good. But now it's time to kind of trim them away. They're showing me grapevines. Okay, grapevines. For some of you, you may want to make a wreath out of these, and they definitely provide nourishment and sustenance. But what I've also found, okay, is that blackberries, potentially raspberries, but blackberries grow on fence lines too. So if we allow these vines to grow out of control, yes, they're going to give grapes, but there may be other things or other resources along this fence line or along this wall that we also want. And if we allow the grapevines to grow out of control, when you go to harvest your blackberries, there won't be any because the grapevines would have strangled those things out, okay? Or you're not going to be able to get to them, and the sun's not going to get to them. So I hope that made I hope that reference was helpful. Let's see what else we have. So we have some stuff in the reverse. We have, first off, and this came out in my pre-shuffle, it's in the upright with the 4 of arrows and it's time to rest, but it's also because in this time of resting has been a transformation. You have the Queen of Stones and the Bear in reverse with the 10 of Vessels in the reverse here as well. I'm going to flip them over because I think that this is a lot of stuff internally. It's whatever needs to be released. Whenever we release this in this time of rest, when that's done, when we've fulfilled that, for some of us I heard prophecy, but when we've fulfilled that part of our destiny, when we've stood in our own ground and said, you know what, I'm going to make myself happy. I'm not going to rely on another person, another group of individuals. I'm not going to wait until I'm at my ideal weight. I'm not going to wait until I'm in my ideal location, my ideal career, to start loving myself fiercely now. And I think it's important too, for some of you, I heard you may want to start a workout regime. You may want to start writing or journaling, because I think that our self-confidence needs to be boosted a lot here as well. So for some of us, we may not feel like we are confident enough in ourselves to really be able to harvest this kind of abundance. But Spirit, the right away is like, yes, you are. It's that sometimes we just need to find that confidence again. Be around people and like-minded individuals who aren't going to bog us down and cause worry and heartache in our world and make us feel like things are heavy and it's all our fault or it's all our responsibility and we're doing it on our own. Because for some of you, this might have been a partnership that you've been in as well, feeling like this so much is bearing down on you and the weight is all on you, on your shoulders. And Spirit really wants you to know, when we get that, this is a way of keeping us down as well. So for some of you, and it's not all of you, but if when I was talking about a partner or something where you feel like so much responsibility gets planted on your shoulders, this may be a really good place to really question and again think about pruning. Because is this group of people willing to see that you have so much responsibilities, that this is frustrating you, this is keeping you down? Are they willing to share the workload? Are they willing to share the weight? Because if the answer to that is no, this is not a partnership, right? That this is somebody or a group of people really benefiting from your labor, from what you've done. It's kind of like they're giving me the example of like in school or at work, a group project. Something where, let's say you have 4 people or 3 or 4 people, and 1 to 2 of these people they work or they've got all these other things going on and they don't have time for it. So they're just flat out not going to do it. But what's going to happen eventually, yes, that will look on their mark as individually, but they're going to try and delegate it out to everyone else and use all the other excuses on why they can't get their part done. And then the 2 remaining in the group who want a good mark and have the time are going to end up overcompensating and taking on that workload just so that this project can be done, right? And this is where I think it's going to be really important to remember it's okay to set boundaries. Because many of us, if we've grown up with that kind of people around us and that mentality that loving ourselves was narcissistic or something like that, that it was bad that we loved ourselves, as we have people trying to show us every reason why we shouldn't. And also those people probably didn't have a whole lot of love for themselves either, right? That's one of the ways that they're going to make themselves feel better, is trying to keep everyone else down, keep everyone else full of responsibility. So I do feel like with this in the reverse, it's been a while, and it's been a problem for whoever this has resonated for. Maybe this part's not there, but setting boundaries and then not feeling bad about them. Because I think, especially abusive people or people who benefit from us not having boundaries, when we set those boundaries up, they get hella mad. They get big mad. They get upset, and it's not fair. It's not fair to them. It's like this person or these group of people in a group project who don't understand why you may be refusing to do their part in this project. Or maybe you go to your professor and you say, listen, I've got another workload too. Because what's happening is these people who are seeing, well, I can't, I have to work, you guys have to do it, aren't looking at the fact that y'all got other workload, especially if you're in school and you've got 3 or 4 other courses that you still have work to do. This isn't the only thing that you're focused on, but they look at it as, well, I have all this plus this, so it's going to be your. And this is not about being in competition. This is about what I heard is accepting responsibilities, as well as, I'm going to keep going here because it's coming out. If it's a school situation, they decided to take this program. That was their choice. They decided to add these extra responsibilities. Also their choice. Now I understand working, especially when you're in school and you have to pay your way. Work isn't always something that we have a choice to do, but time management is something that may be really important here. So if in your past, setting boundaries has been something incredibly difficult for you, some of you may even have been punished or given kind of, like what I heard is like the cold shoulder or like certain silent treatments because you set boundaries for yourself. And this is going to be hard on your heart as well. I think that the more we grow, the more we realize it's perfectly okay for you to set boundaries up if you're feeling like you're being taken advantage of. If you're feeling uncomfortable in situations, set those boundaries. So this is where that fence there, I think it's different between a fence and a wall, because a fence, while it's meant to keep things out, I usually think of holes in the fence. A wall is very, very solid. So I think that this is where, instead of walling everyone out, this is use the fence line, because light can still get through it, right? Just take the time to prune. So for some of you, what I heard with the roses, if you want your fence to be covered, but you want to keep the illusion of it being open, plant some roses here, some climbing roses. They may really, really flourish there. But they're also reminding me that you are inviting the fairies and the sprites and all of these earthly elemental entities to your garden. And what I heard is you will be rewarded for that. So I'm going to pull, before I end this, I have the Wisdom of the Trees Oracle, and let's see what wisdom Spirit has and what they would like to share with us. Spirit, can you tell me about this? They're talking, about setting boundaries. Also, before I do this, they're showing, I'm looking at the 4 of Arrows with the Queen of Stones. If you need to rest, you need to rest. For some of you as well, they're coming back down to giving me my example, and I'll use it. But if you're in school, or it could be work too, right? Mental health days are important. So in university, there was one particular semester where I gave myself course overload, and I was up, like I separated my sleep into a couple hours here, got up, went to school, a couple hours here, worked, trying to get everything done, and then I missed a week of school after because I was just burnt out. This is some of us, it's a warning about burning that candle at both ends and not allowing rest time, because there is importance in rest. Especially what I heard about is like gym. if you're going to the gym, if you're bodybuilding, if you're doing things like this, if you're building muscle, you need to rest, because if you're working, but it's in those rest periods that our body heals. And this is also mentally as well, that it's in these rest periods where our mind can heal. And as well as they're showing me growing here, you think about kids. When do they grow? In their sleep. So you have pomegranate here, and this is beautiful. And I also want to show you the shooting star. I'm hearing a Bad Company song as well, Shooting Star, in my head. But then they're also playing Counting Stars by One Republic. So those might have something in there for you as well. But let's see what message we have from pomegranate. This is the inner journey. It says, I am the fruit of the underworld, and I will guide you on your inner journey as you enter the rich realms of your unconscious. I can help you to interpret your dreams and to gain a deeper understanding of the world around you. Use your intuition and instincts to tune into the major themes in your life. Meditation will help you to still your mind so that the inspiration can strike, and creative visualization will help you to plan your life's path. The reverse of this says, stay focused on positive and constructive thoughts. Do not let yourself be sidetracked or held back by fears of negative emotions. Trust that all will be well and that you are being guided in the perfect direction for you. Absolutely. And I mean, this definitely is an inner journey, right? That journey of self-love, giving ourselves unconditional love and grace. And our growth is very personal, and it's something that it's done. We have to grow, right? No one else can grow for us. Some other people can help water us. They can give us food. They can share their light with us. But it's our own internal process that helps us to grow. So to take care of our body here, I have this Sacred Self-Care Oracle. And I'm going to ask, what can we do to help care for ourselves? I'm going to take that because it wanted to come out. How can we help care for ourselves over this next process and next cycle, please, Spirit? Helping Sagittarius help care for themselves. Thank you. So they got a couple. The bottom is use your hands. Do something creative. Do something that keeps you busy as well. You have massage. Some of you, this may be yourself. Others, you book a massage. You deserve it. Take care of yourself. If you're sore, if you're tired, this can help rejuvenate your body, as well as what I heard is puts you to sleep really well that night. So you have deep breathing, and we also have connecting with crystals. I wanted to show you guys because I felt guided. This is black obsidian, which can help be very protective, as well as like kind of absorb negative energy around you. As well as I have yellow calcite, really focusing on our own inner strength, focusing on our self-worth. As well as I had a few other ones I was guided to bring. I have here some pink moonstone to help you be in connection with spirit. This can really help with the meditation. But also blue calcite, helping you connect with your voice. Because again, for some of you, with that bear, if setting boundaries has felt uncomfortable because you've experienced reprisal, okay? Because of this in the past, this is really needing to strengthen these muscles, because we're going to have to use our voice to set the boundaries. So if you're experiencing a lot of anxiety, or if you're just having like hard time sleeping, or if you just need to rest, this could be, I heard, like take 5 deep breaths in. Count to 5 as you're breathing in, count to 5 as you're breathing out, inhale the good shit, exhale the bullshit, and set that intention. As well as one thing you can also do, I'm feeling a lot of pressure in my heart chakra, and here it is, where it's like, breathe in this light and love into your heart, release anything out into the world with love to be transmuted that is not of love and light. And set the intentions again that this is being done with your active breath space. And again, it's being transmuted. You're not sending out this negative vibes out there. It's that through your breath space, as this comes out, you are releasing it. It's being transmuted out into the world with love. Connecting with your crystals as well. If you see here, she's sitting around in a circle. She's holding one. Meditation, again, could be really, really helpful for you. As well as just remembering your power. For some of you as well, what I heard is you may want to get a worry stone or to carry something in your pocket. Like if you have a lot of negativity around you, you may want to carry like black obsidian, snowflake obsidian, something like that. As well as if you feel like you're prone to other people's energy, this is a piece of smoky quartz. And just keep that so that you're keeping with your authenticity. This is also about protection as well, and power. I'm also guided to show you too, if you're feeling like you need to really support your own personal power, clearer white quartz could really help you as well. So that's the message I have. Just remember, throughout whatever process is happening, you're growing, give yourself grace, give yourself self-love, and love yourself unconditionally, because we are, what I heard is like we're the most important vessel in our world, because without this love for ourselves, we're not going to flourish, not in the way that we can with our true potential. So that's the message I have. If you guys want to let me know how this resonates, please comment below. You can send me a message, an email. That stuff is in the description box as well as you can find me on Instagram. I'm trying to create more content over there. So I will talk to you later. I love you all. And I hope you guys have a great month. Bye, guys.